Well, it's still election season, and of course, the game changer for the enterprise called Nigeria Incorporated were the presidential elections. But Nigerians head to the polls to elect state governors in another 8 days or so. Now, it's a mixed bag of candidates as former bank executives, stockbrokers, as well as other business and economic professionals join the political arena. The channel's business news correspondent Tempo Ashaju had a chat with Managing Director, CEO Morgan Capital, Ayoleki Adu.
Talk about this electioneering at the moment. Right now we have the political landscape. What does it portend for the financial markets vis-a-vis the private sector?
Over the past 6 months, there's been a lot of movements, electioneering all around the country. And I think that has brought a lot of uncertainties about the political economy going forward. Because if there would be a change in government, you expect new policies to be in place and how investors will react to that. So if you're seeing gradual flow of investments out of Nigeria, I believe if the elections are successful, there will be gradual flow of capital back into the country. The level of uncertainties that have occurred has caused a lot of things in the capital market. You've seen the index losing right from August up to this moment. In January, it lost about 16%. In February, it was able to gain about 1.6%. Well, year to date, about 13.77% loss. So that is just to tell you about the level of uncertainties that the political climate has brought about, especially the postponement of the election. That was the one that was held in February. Thank God that now it seems as if everything's going to be fine. And once it is okay, I think the market is going to bounce back. But now it might not be as rapid as people would expect, but it's going to bounce back both at the short term and the medium term ends.
As an investment banker and a politician, you have been instrumental in the listing of some companies in the Nigerian stock markets. What's your motivation? Yeah,
you see, my own perspective to doing things is like you must bring direct development to your people. You must be able to shape policy formulation. I've been an investment banker now for over 20 years. And there's a little you can do while you are out there on the market phase and listing companies, but there's a lot more you can do to shape the entire economy at the policy formulation stage. That's why I took a step backwards to look at how do I actually assist in policy formulation, and that's why I went into politics. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun for us, and I've seen clearly that that's where actually we lack a lot of competence in this part of the world. That is where people should be attracted to assist in policy formulation and execution of policy ideas. I have a very strong passion for the SMEs, as you are aware, the ASM market, and my own passion is derived from the fact that I know that in other countries, and even Nigeria, if Nigeria would have to develop, we have to focus very squarely on the small and medium-scale enterprises to watch them grow and give them all sorts of enhancement and support that the government can do in terms of policy and maybe any other kind of support to enable them grow and become the likes of Cadbury. I like painting the example of a Cadbury anywhere I go. That Cadbury started out of a little village, south of Birmingham in the UK, and with government policies assisting them, they are now a very huge multinational. They started up mixing cocoa and milk, right, out of the village called Bonville, and that's why their flagship is called Bonvita. So now they're a global company. We can have thousands of those coming out of Nigeria. The SMEs are the ones that will provide the jobs. They are the ones that can be located in the interior parts of Nigeria. But the government would have to focus on them and look for ways to make them be able to have an enduring and sustainable growth process within the economy. So I think that is kind of things that I would want any government in Nigeria to look out for. Then the issue of corruption, right, which I would say is the singular problem of Nigeria. If you look at every other market in the world, it is not surprising to me that the most regulated markets in the world are the biggest markets. If you look at the biggest markets, the US market, the UK market, the Japanese market, even the Chinese market, they are really very huge. And you can only have, they are this huge because they are very well regulated. The rules are known to everybody, they are transparent. You won't have a company today that is, because corruption does many things to you, it erodes competitiveness within the economy. You have two companies at par doing the same thing, but one is doing some other things through the back door, right? And the shareholders, analysts must have done their forecast based on genuine projections. They now see the other company doing better, and the one that is less corrupt would suddenly find itself lagging behind. When you look at the power sector in Nigeria, a lot of money has been pumped into it for the past 30 years, but nothing has come out of it. You look at the rail system, the water, sanitation, everything. So even to be able to aggregate funds from the capital market to fund these government projects is a lot of issues, because the pension funds that would normally want to chest into and invest into most of these infrastructure projects, they have their own checklist. They won't just invest in any country or even any sector or even any company where they're not sure about the corporate governance levels, they're not sure about the fiscal policies of the country, and if the corruption levels are very high. So the issue of corruption is just the main problem of Nigeria, and I don't want to say it is the only problem, because we have the market, a population of 180 million people, more than twice the population of the UK, more than 3 times the population of South Africa, yet our market is doing a fraction of all these markets. The only problem we have is corruption. If corruption were to be reduced drastically, the power sector is going to work, a lot of funds is going to go into there, all the institutionalized corruptions we have in the country reduce, and that will bring about flow of funds into various sectors of the economy in a sustainable manner. What we've been seeing are knee-jerk approaches, whereby portfolio investors bring in money, and within 3 months, 6 months, they are out again. What we want in Nigeria is what I would call irreversible investment. That is investment into real industries. And those things can happen if the corruption levels are high. Those things can happen if you don't have power, if you don't have infrastructure, if you don't have the rail networks. And you can't have any of this infrastructure if your budgets are not going to be implemented, if people are corrupt, if contractors are going to make away with the money. So that's why some of us have seen all these things that, look, the only way to help this country out is for us to move into there and try and see how we can assist the country in policy formation and also execution.
So talking about corruption, there is an initiative in the capital markets, the ex-WISU, but we have to go on a short break now. So when we come back, we'll be talking to you about corruption in the capital markets.